Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome you to the keynote Industry 5.0 No Time to Waste. My name is Rada. I am human and I am the founder of Industry 5.0. And before we start, let me ask you a few questions. The first one is who we are, because we have many titles. We are managers, presidents, chairmen, students, producers, teachers, fathers and mothers. We are collecting many titles during our life, but we are forgetting one. We are human beings. Living ones, not like this man on County out of Pilsen Brewery. And if we do realize who we are, let me ask you the second question. Where do we live? Because we live in beautiful cities like Roubaix, Pilsen, Paris, Brussels. We live in beautiful cities which we fill with trash. We work in factories which produce in one day more trash than a city in a month. And we produce products which frequently become trash before becoming useful and used by the end users. And we store them in big metal houses filled with air, and we call for more to be built because there is no space to store. And at the end of our shift, we are living next to the output of our production. And we arrive home and maybe we will realize that something what was called food before, it's called bio-waste today. And we look at the red sky above our heads and we ask ourselves, where do we live? My keynote will answer this question to you, but before doing that, let me inform you what is Industry 5.0. What is the origin of Industry 5.0? Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man, by human. It is built on principles of systematic waste prevention, industrial upcycling, and it was introduced on December 1st, 2015 by an article called Industry 5.0 from Virtual to Physical. Industry 5.0 recognizes and prevents 4 types of waste: physical, social, urban, and process waste. The principles of industrial upcycling has been implemented since 2013 already, and they help to prevent more than 1 million metric tons of products to become waste. On May 2021, Industry 5.0 keynotes has been distributed to all governments of the world. And what is the World Economic Forum origin? World Economic Forum was launched on January 1971, 11 months before I was born. The founder is Klaus Schwab, and it's funded by members, companies, frequently with turnover over $5 billion and public money. What is the mission of World Economic Forum? As described on their own website, it is improving the state of the world by engaging businesses, political, academic, and other leaders of society to shape global, regional, and industrial agendas. The total revenue of World Economic Forum in 2016 was $244 million. In 2021, it was 337. The expenses has been 1 million lower each of the years. The membership fee starts with $52,000 and ends up with $500,000 for strategic partners. And the size and the operation is run by 800 members. All this information came from Wikipedia, combined with the website of World Economic Forum. And what is the climate? By Wikipedia, it says, climate is a long-term pattern of weather in an area typically average over a period of 30 years. It is the and variability of meteorological variables over a time spanning from months to millions of years. Some of the meteorological variables that are commonly measured are temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure, wind, and precipitation. Climate is the state of the components of the climate system, which includes the ocean, land, and ice on the Earth. Last year, Earth's climate is chaotic. Scientists who say that they found a pattern in the noise of climate has been the winners of Nobel Prize. What is the existing reality? I was born on a planet which was called Blue Marble at the time, but in 2019 the blue was not visible anymore because of the environmental damage. But in 2021 it shows up again because of the COVID pandemic, not because of the change of behavior of man. We are living on a planet around which we have been able to establish within few decades' time a global landfill with more than 170 million pieces of space debris, pieces smaller than 10 centimeters, plus 800,000 of 10 to 30 centimeters and 80,000 above 30 centimeters. This is what we did to our orbit. And what we do to the planet itself? We hunt for more because more is the only criteria of success. More money, more people, more wealth, more companies, more businesses, more. No matter what. Ask Fortune 500 companies, ask the members, ask Forbes how the ladder is done. We are living on a planet together with 7.9 billion people, not knowing that 200 years ago it was just 1 billion and 100 years ago it was just 1.5, which means in the last 100 years, the global population is 5 times bigger than it was before. And in 2050, there should be 11 billion people. And do not forget, in the last 100 years, there has been 2 world wars and 2 world pandemics, plus 650 local war conflicts with over 1 million deaths. We are living on a planet in 206 countries, according to UN 197. We are speaking 7,000 languages, riding 1 billion cars, and we are letting 9 million people yearly to die hungry, despite the fact that every single day on a planet is being 23.6 million tons of food and crop wasted. We let 800,000 people yearly die thirsty, despite the fact that only California crude oil industry consumes 347 million liters of drinking water every single day. We are growing our food to throw it away because the leaves are not green enough for the buyer in a chain store. We are putting our overproduction in a rivers and on the landfill not to spoil the market price. We are carrying our water in firefighting tanks, not knowing that the same amount of drinking water is needed to produce just one and simple hamburger. And we do it on a planet on which this image is a reality as well. We are working on factories which walls are filled with environmental certificates, and behind the walls landfill is created by the same factory. We are storing obsolete packaging on a parking lot of employees, waiting till get wasted and scrapped. We scrap products which are not perfect for one, but can serve well hundreds and thousands of the others. We are listening to the words of World Bank, which says till 2050 the waste volume should grow. In some destinations it should even double. Despite the fact that almost everything can be reused or repurposed, but in fact only 13.5%, according to this report, is being reused or repurposed. This is why the waste industry became the third most profitable industry in the world, just after the war industry and the crude oil industry. What is the connection and influence? Climate influences the planet Earth on a global scale. So does today Industry 5.0. Climate influences the life of people. So does Industry 5.0, and climate have a direct impact on industrial development, so as Industry 5.0. Industry 5.0 does not waste, same as nature. Industry 5.0 represents global ecosystem same as nature. Industry 5.0 reduced the negative impact of human behavior on a planet. So does nature. Reducing wasting reduce the negative impact and improve climate conditions. These are the names of companies which are members, strategic members of World Economic Forum. Few of them are watching Industry 5.0 for several years, following the post and the messages. These are the companies. But not a single one of those offer the support or become a strategic partner. The transformation is in evolution. Because the impact of COVID-19 started in early 2020, the transformation of industries, Industry 5.0 has been already prepared because being launched since 2013. And so we has been able to minimize the negative impact of the impact. And we do deliver palpable results. There are only two topics which connects all industries. The first one is money and profit. There is nothing wrong as long as you do not hurt anybody or damage or destroy. Everybody speaks about money when speaking about business, but there is a second one nobody speaks about. It's waste. Because every single business, every single company, every single organization generate waste. Until industrial upcycling and Industry 5.0 was introduced, nobody speak about waste and wasting. But since the introduction, everyone can choose whether he or she will prefer to generate waste or profit, because there is nothing in between. We have made one big failure in the history. We have trusted that our future can be built on the top of a pyramid, waste pyramid, but have you ever tried to stay on the top of a pyramid? It's a very unstable place, and even the old Egyptians has not been able to build their future on the top of a huge pyramid. I realized that back in 2013, and I spent my time to deliver better groundstone for sustainable future, groundstone which even if the earth will shake, will remain the stable groundstone. And I call it 6R. And how does this 6R works? Firstly, you have to recognize that something must not become waste, and trust me, that's not an easy task, especially not if you waste the product or a material before. The second is even harder because you have to reconsider what to do with it, and trust me, it's really hard. But the third step, is the rewarding one. Realize the change. You may fail for the first, second, third time, but then when you succeed, you start to change the world. So as I did. Many ask me during the 9 years of introduction of the systematic waste prevention, Mr. Rada, what is the value of waste prevention? Is there any value? We spent 5 years to calculate the number. Here it is, 475 trillion US dollars per year. And already in the first year of implementation, you can save up to 50% of your waste management cost. This is the value. What should come next to reach this value, to be able to utilize it? We have to work in unity. Instead of competing to each other, cooperation must come. And with it, it must come the integrity of our action. Because keeping together, following one and non-financial aim, and in Industry 5.0, this aim is to build wasteless world for all, is the solution. We must create sovereign countries and to achieve local satisfaction, which is needed for global harmony. And everything must be done transparent, because if transparency is in game, no fraud and no data leaks will damage the environment. The full responsibility is the next one. In entire life cycle, overall, and it must be addressed. And of course, instead of single use, longevity must come. And efficiency, because this is the part of it. Because if we will create wasteless world, we will deliver meaningful work to all, and that will contribute to meaningful life. There has been many keynotes delivered already since I launched the Industry 5.0 Age in India. And on January 7th, 2021, Industry 5.0 was officially integrated in European Union Sustainable Development Framework, referring to the definition of wasteless world written by me. On October 19th, 2021, United Nations spoke about Industry 5.0 during the World Investment Forum. And what about 2022? New keynotes has been delivered, spreading the message. But what is the most important part, that on January 1st was launched project called 17. It is the Global Recovery Project, which was launched to recover the global economy, society, industry, and ecosystem within the same time which COVID needs to put everything down within 17 months' time. And to do so, there was a tool introduced. It's called the Waste Prevention Framework. And it's a pity, but it is our generation which first in the mankind history needs such a framework, needs waste prevention policy. Because nothing that can be used or utilized again must prevent waste. Everything must be considered primary as a pre-waste existing resource and remain in the system. The secondary use or utilization is not limited to a primary function or of product or material, and can be executed by everyone respecting the regulations and safety conditions. Collecting, sorting, baling, trade and transportation are not being considered anymore secondary utilization. And if not utilized on the original location, it must be offered to others before being wasted. And dear ladies and gentlemen, there is no waste if we do not waste. I don't know whether you will believe me or not, but there is not a single legislation in the world which defines how waste is being created, that it is the process of wasting. So I took my time and spent 8 years for this entire legislation to define what is wasting. Because wasting is a process in which product or material of any kind, form and volume become waste. In fact, waste is a system failure and must be prevented first without any limitation or legal restriction. And please do understand, wasting is not a feature of a product or material, but a result of human behavior. And wasting, one of the most frequent forms of wasting is single use. There are 4 waste categories recognized by Industry 5.0. Is the physical waste, which you know as trash and garbage, which you put in a garbage bins. But there is a social waste, which are people and animals and nature cut from the meaningful life and kept for serving best dead as a foodstuff. There is a urban waste, empty buildings, factories, flats, malls, in the cities where people have no roof above their heads. And there is a process waste which you will find in every single factory, company and building. It's an omnipresent waste, which is related to behavior of people and businesses, including politicians and world leaders. I have one request for all of you who are listening. You are the World Economic Forum members. You are people of the world. You are humans, so please do not ask sustainability before becoming sustainable first. Reduce financing of publication and invest in doers instead. Do not measure what you cannot measure yourself, and eliminate fear from company and society standards. Don't ask people to run. Let them walk instead, and take a picture before you create after. Value humans, not machines or technology, and don't waste your time in favor of personal profit. Industry 5.0 is the first industrial evolution ever led by man by a human. It's a new mindset of people and businesses, from wasteful to wasteless. It delivered the result without the need of capital investment, and it's based on the principles of systematic waste prevention. It utilized the existing on-the-ground mines, and it's based on transparency, profit sharing, and efficiency. And please do understand, Industry 5.0 is not a sales tool or a product or a buzzword. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are living in the age of digitalization of our work. Our children are living in the years of digitalization of our education. And all of us, our leisure time was digitalized a long time ago. So it looks like that the only thing which needs to be digitalized is the human himself. But if we do so, our home will look like this, because data don't need any light. I recognized that more than a decade ago, and I decided this is not the world I would like to live and hand over. So I decided to build another world, another home. This is my home. And don't worry, I'm not alone. My name is Rada. I am human. And these are the people who represent Industry 5.0 in 96 countries already, giving the access to systematic waste prevention to more than 86% of the global population. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I have decided which way I would like to go, which future I am going to build and deliver. Right now, it's your time to decide. You are welcome to join me, because there is only one word to follow: wasteless world. Have a nice time, free of waste and wasting in all its forms. And please stay safe and free.